Welcome, everybody. Oh, all right. Why do you make me do that?
I don't know. I just think it's kind of funny.
Good
evening, everybody. And
hi, everybody.
Welcome to another episode of WAW, the show where important topics of the day are largely ignored.
And foolishness reigns supreme.
And we're here to ask the eternal question.
Oh, what's happening? Do you want to explain? I know we've explained our little coin phrase before, but explain it now. Go ahead.
Oh, you're going to put that in my court? Okay, yeah. Important topics of the day, everything that you would expect us to be talking about, are largely ignored because you hear enough of it on the news and Facebook and every other social media platform.
Yeah.
So we're trying to take you out of that realm and bring you into our realm of foolishness.
That's right.
So
hello, Patty. Hello, Deborah, Lisa. We're excited
Lisa.
for David too. We're so excited.
Hi, Renee, and hi, Patty. Hi, Deborah.
Okay, I need to call attention to this amazing shirt I have on that was given to me.
Okay, you want to go ahead and tell everybody?
So I have this amazing shirt. It's obviously a Blondie shirt, and it's leopard, Blondie and leopard. And I want to shout out to Sherry for giving me this shirt because I love it. I love it. Leopard and Blondie together. But you know what I did? I know I have a little confession to make.
What's that?
So this was a shirt, and it actually had shoulders in it yesterday. I made it what they call a cold shoulder shirt.
Hey, Rick.
I made it a little cuter.
Hi,
it was
Jane.
really
Hi,
cute.
Manny.
Otherwise, but
yeah. Lisa says it's very cute.
Thank you.
She likes it.
Thank you. I made it a cold shoulder. I actually went online and learned how to cut a shirt, a t-shirt, and make it a cold shoulder.
Yeah.
So my shoulders are
I
cold.
like it. Yeah, I like it.
Thank you.
So Valerie says she's seen David before, and he's awesome.
Nick says, I love the shirt. Thanks, Nick. I'll cut all your shirts. Bring your shirts. We'll cut them.
Hey, Nick. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so let's get to some of the business of the day.
Just have to represent.
That's monkey business.
No, I'm just saying, just representing.
Okay. Yeah.
He doesn't respect my love for hockey. He doesn't.
No, I do.
You don't.
I like that.
You don't respect it. You think basketball is the only sport that's allowed in this house?
Well, pretty much.
No,
yeah.
see.
Hi, Paul. By the way, guys, did anybody see the Clipper game last night? That was
Thank you, Steven.
Unbelievable. That ending was unbelievable. Did you see that? Hi, Kimberlyn. Hi, Jane.
Old friend of David Brighton. Jane's an old friend of David Brighton.
Oh, you're gonna have to chime in.
Yeah, you will totally have to check. Yes, ask him a question. He will because David can see the questions. So
yeah, absolutely.
Hello, beautiful. I think he's talking to me.
Hey, Darren. What? Wait.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I feel like he might be.
Hey, Larry. Thanks for clicking on.
Good evening.
Wait a minute. I was just talking about the Clipper game.
I tend to interrupt. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to.
Guys, I've been watching basketball for 50 years. 50.
Wow. That's a long time.
It is. And that ending to the Clipper game last night, I have never seen that happen in 50 years of watching the NBA.
Larry says, does David like music? Well, Larry, we're about to find out. We're about to find out.
Hey, there's Bob. Oh, man. Bob's bringing home the bacon again, telling us about the basketball game. Thanks, Bob. Appreciate that.
You're allowed to give Jim scores only if it's not distracting. Because if someone's losing...
No, there's no distraction now.
Bob, go ahead. Give him scores.
I don't have a horse in this race. Clippers, I'd kind of like to see the Clippers lose. And most of you who know me well know why that is, right? But other than that, any of them could win, and I'd be fine with it, actually. So
you used to hate the Clippers, though.
I still do hate the Clippers. That's why I'm saying I'd like to see them lose.
But there was a time where you liked them.
I liked them,
and then you didn't like them.
Okay, let me.
You liked them again.
So let me just give you a little background behind that, guys. Let me give you a little background behind that. I used to watch the Clippers. I rooted for them against everybody except the Lakers. And then Kawhi Leonard became a free agent. And he was kind of down to two teams. He was either going to sign with either the Lakers or the Clippers. Well, he decided the Clippers, but the problem was he waited for 2 weeks to make the announcement. So all of the free agents that were available, the good free agents that were available, were signed by other teams while he waited and held out. And I'm sure Clipper management said, don't say anything because we don't want the Lakers to get any of the other top free agents. So he waited for 2 weeks before making the announcement, and the Lakers had to scramble to put together a roster with, decent enough players. Well, they did, but I just didn't like that at all. And so since then, I haven't been a fan of the Clippers.
So you want to hear something?
What's that?
Bob's stirring the pot.
How's that? Hey, Scott.
Did you see what Bob said?
What did Bob say? Oh, good hair day. Hey, thanks, Bob.
But
I
he's
appreciate
talking to
that,
me.
brother.
He's talking to
you
me.
don't know that.
Bob, you talking to me?
You don't know that.
You
Come
talking
on.
to me, Bob? I made you a cup, Bob. Who are you talking to?
Okay, guys, you got to put in your vote for who's having the best hair day.
I feel exactly the same way about the Clippers. Larry says for the same reason.
Yeah,
Well, you guys are basketball buddies.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. By the way, Larry, we have to do a Kings Ducks game soon. I know it's not going to happen anytime soon, but we have to do it at the pond.
Yeah, absolutely. Manny
need some hockey.
says that David Brighton was one of his early shoots. Did you know that was one of the first shows that Manny shot?
Oh, early shoot. Oh, because
Yeah.
Manny's a photographer. For those of you
Yeah.
who don't know, Manny's a very good photographer.
Yeah.
He's actually one of the premier tribute photographers that kind of is every.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
That's right.
beautiful photos.
And Lisa says that David's the king of David Bowie, but he does a pretty great George Harrison too. Yeah.
Wow. And we saw that.
Yeah.
We did see that in
I-
Beatlemania like years ago.
Yeah, we're going to talk.
right.
Not Beatlemania.
What's
Well,
that?
yeah, he might have been playing in.
I saw David for the first time in my whole entire life at Beatlemania.
No, that was Fab Four.
I know it was Beatlemania.
Yeah, but we're going to get into that.
Okay.
We're spoiling it now
Sorry.
for everybody.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Henry.
I tend to do that.
Henry and Martha, thank you for joining us. Hey, Stephen. And then we have.
Yes, see, Julie says he was in Beatlemania.
Oh, he was.
I'm right.
But I never saw him in Beatlemania.
I did.
We'll talk about. You didn't see him in Beatlemania. If I didn't see him in Beatlemania, neither did you.
No, I feel like
Come
I
on.
might have. How did I know that then?
Come on, I have no idea. I think you were just,
See?
pulling it out of thin air.
No, I didn't pull it out of thin
Okay.
air. I saw him.
Oh, thank you, Becky.
I actually had a life
Becky
before I
says
met
she loves
you.
my hair.
Becky,
Julie says, sorry, Jim.
Becky. Julie, don't
Patty-
apologize, Julie.
Patty says she agrees. David Brighton is fabulous.
He's
at
amazing.
both.
The
He
best.
really is.
He's the best of the best. I don't
Okay,
think
so-
I've seen anybody better.
Yes, but what? No, absolutely not.
No.
If I'm not playing in Led Zeppelin and Space Oddity is, I always go to see them. So
Yeah. Absolutely.
yeah, it's we're really excited to have David on. But we wanted to make you aware of a couple of shows that are happening this weekend. First off, on Friday night, Deja Vu, which is a tribute to Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, is playing their first live show in front of an audience in over a year. It's been a year.
It's been
Can you
a
believe
year. That is
Yeah.
insane.
And we're so excited to get back out there. It's going to be a blast. We are playing with the incredible tribute to Robert Plant called Robert Plant
That's going to be
Nation. And if you like the music of Robert Plant, you will love this group. The musicianship is top shelf at every position. They're
Every
unbelievable.
position. You're right.
Right?
Every single
I mean,
musician is amazing. Yeah, you're right.
He
You're
put
right.
together a
You're
great
right. He
band
did.
there. So that's going to be Friday night.
Lisa, come.
Yeah, Lisa.
Come hang with me. 'cause I'm
Drag
gonna
Joe
be
out there. Yeah, it's going to be great. It's
And
going
then-
to be a blast.
And then the next night, because we are actually leaving Apple Valley
Mhm.
and driving to a hotel because we got our dog nanny for the weekend.
Yeah.
So we have a weekend off of the Little Peanuts. But we are driving to a hotel in Montclair because the next night
we're playing with Led Zeppelin at the Canyon in Montclair, California, with a Black Sabbath tribute.
Yep.
Called
really?
Black Sabbatha. It's a female-led Black Sabbath tribute. So there's going to be a lot of heavy metal thunder going on.
Becky says, "I'm so glad music is happening." Me too,
Yes,
Becky. It was
absolutely.
a year of no paycheck. No.
But wait, you said Apple Valley. We didn't say the venue. Friday night we're playing at the Hilltop Tavern in Apple Valley, California. Deja Vu is going to be playing from 8 to 9, and then Robert Plant Nation from 9:30 to 11. And you can get dinner there. They've got a full menu, full service bar. It's going to be a great night.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
We're so excited.
2 good bands, guys.
Yeah.
Double header. That's right. Double header, Lisa. Yes. Yeah. Double header. Great bands. Good music.
It's going to be so much fun. We've got a great set list.
Take the trip. Get a hotel. Make it a good weekend. And then come out to Montclair the next night.
That's right. Yeah.
And it'll be a good. You have Sunday to recover.
We'll go have breakfast with you and Joe on Saturday morning, and then
Deborah wants to know when will Deja Vu be in Thousand Oaks? Thousand Oaks meaning Thousand Oaks Park?
No, she just means Thousand Oaks in general.
Oh, okay. I mean,
we don't have anything there.
Hi, Mary.
As of yet, but we're hoping to get a show back out here soon.
That would be amazing because Thousand Oaks is literally 5 minutes from our home.
Yeah. Oh wait, Lynn's gonna miss Hilltop this time. It's an unbelievable van. Oh.
We need Sundays to recover. Sundays is a recover day. We do recover on Sundays.
That's right.
Although sometimes we don't have recover days.
Yeah, I know. I've got one stretch coming up here where it's going to be 6 shows in a row, guys. 6. It's going to be pretty crazy. I mean, I'm not used to having that many shows without a pajama day. Oh no, I'm not either.
No, I'm happy to be.
Well, what do you have to complain about? You just sit there and watch all the work happen.
I have to go support you. I have to drive.
Yeah.
Okay, people. He makes me drive to venues.
Yeah, that's right.
Because he's tired and he needs his rest, so he makes me drive.
But we're missing one of our favorite fans. Lynn is working on Friday, so she's not going to be able to make it out to Hilltop. So sorry to hear that, Lynn.
I'm going to need to call your boss and we'll let her or him know that you may need to take the day off.
I'm fine with that. But we've got the Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young set. We've got all the great ones for you. We're doing Carry On, Long Time Gone, Wasted on the Way, Ohio, Southern Man, Southern Cross.
Yeah.
Southern Nights. I know that's Glenn Campbell. I'm sorry, guys.
I was trying to pretend like I knew what he was talking about.
A solid hour of Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young classics. So that's Friday night at the Hilltop Tavern in Apple Valley, and we start at 8 o'clock sharp. So make sure you get there early. The doors open at 6, and you can have dinner there.
Larry says Deja Vu. Deja Vu is actually. Yes.
No, Larry, it's Deja Who? No, I'm just kidding.
It is Deja Vu.
Deja Who.
No, he said Deja Vu.
I know, but when you're asking the question, Deja Who?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Larry, it's our Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young tribute.
Yeah.
If you're in the area, come on out and join us. It's going to be Friday night at 8 p.m. at the Hilltop Tavern, followed by Robert Plant Nation. And then the next night, Led Zeppelin at the Canyon Montclair with Black Sabbath.
All right, so let's jump forward to what we do every week. We talk about
our sponsor.
Our sponsors. So here's our first one, and I'm sure you guys know this one. It's Calvin's Auto Repair, and if you need a mechanic, which everybody does.
And we hope you don't.
But if you need a trustworthy mechanic,
right,
here's your guy.
He's the man. Calvin's Auto Repair.
Yeah.
So if you need a car or truck, if you have a car or truck, if you have a car or truck, go see Cal.
If you want to save a buck, go see Cal.
Take the car in for your wife.
She will love you all your life.
Go see Cal. Go see Cal. Go see Calvin Ellis
At
Calvin's Auto Repair.
Yeah.
And
501 East Glen Oaks Boulevard in Glendale, California. You guys, again, we say this every week, but Calvin will give you 10% off if you mention WAW.
Yeah.
10% off, people.
There
10%
you go.
off. WAW. Just walk in and say WAW. Nothing else said.
Okay, so we're going to get to our special guest right now. Many of you don't know this, but I've known David for at least 20 years.
And I saw him in Beatlemania.
You didn't see him
I
in
did.
Beatlemania.
I feel like
Come
I
on,
did.
you saw him in the Fab Four.
No,
Okay, listen.
I actually did stuff before I met you.
No, come on now. No, no. But we played in a project together called Superstars of Rock, and we'll talk a little bit about that. And I also had the privilege of subbing with Space Oddity on several occasions. So
he is the best of the best.
We've got some
the
history
best of the best.
to catch up with.
Yeah. All right. So you
Okay,
guys.
here it comes.
And jamming good with Weird and Gilly and the spiders from Mars. Fancy man takes things over all night. She wants the young American. She wants the young American. Let's dance. Put on your red shoes and dance the blues. Running down the street of life. I'm never gonna let you die. I'm never ever gonna get old. I'm never ever gonna get. I'm never ever gonna get.
La formule de Vittel, c'est le secret pour faire renaître notre corps. Vittel, chaque jour une vie nouvelle.
Welcome.
Welcome,
Dave. We're frozen.
Hey guys, how are you?
Hi. How are you?
Good to be here.
Thanks so much for spending part of your evening with us. We're looking forward to this, Dave.
Thank you.
So much.
So, do you remember Superstars of Rock? Do you remember that whole endeavor?
I do very well. It's where I first found, well, not first, but yeah, Led Zeppelin. There, our good friend Dick Swagger from Hollywood Stone, and you remind me of the rest.
Okay. We had let's see, it was Tony Fernandez doing Jim Morrison,
Right.
and didn't we have Jay doing Steven Tyler? Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a blast.
So I have a question. How many years have you guys? Okay, how many years have you guys known each other?
It's probably been about 20, wouldn't you say?
Isn't that terrifying? I think
Wow.
We met when we were 4.
Like
we were in
5 years
preschool.
old, you guys met.
the funny thing is my new friends I've known for 20 years. You know, so time is zipping by. But yeah. So yeah, it's been 20 years. Crazy.
Wow.
Even though we've known each other that long, Dave, I don't know where you were born. Where were you born and where did you grow up?
I honestly don't remember being born.
It was so long ago.
To tell you the truth, I think I was genetically engineered on another planet and sent here because the music on the planet I came from wasn't they didn't have rock and roll there, so they sent me here. No, I was born in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. So when you sing "Life on Mars," you know what you're talking.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's talking about home.
Yeah, it's been Jupiter. But yeah, I was actually one of the few musicians that we know that was born in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Wow, I never knew that.
And from an early age, did you always know you wanted to be a musician, or was it something that kind of came a little later, or how did that come about?
You know, anyone from my generation can blame the Beatles. You know, once we heard of the Beatles or saw the Beatles, it was all over. You know?
Yeah, that was it.
That was it.
And even the subsequent generations really have the Beatles to blame too, because they inspired the one that came next. You know, and then came after that, and then and so on. So,
that's right.
Are your parents musicians?
You know, my parents are musical. They were. My dad was like a rocket scientist. Who did not approve of me going into the music world, you know, as a professional. Yeah. But everyone in my family either played piano or sang or something. I was the black sheep though that wanted to play rock.
So a lot of people don't know this about you, Dave, but you're a very accomplished lead guitar player. They don't know that if they've only seen you in Space Oddity because you play some rhythm guitar.
Yeah.
But you actually have played a lot of lead guitar in the Beatles groups, right?
Yeah, it's very kind of you to say. Yeah, I got into this crazy universe, you know, of tribute world. After I was a career guitar player originally, playing with I was a sideman for people who had record deals, and we had groups of our own trying to get our own record deals. We finally did get our own record deal. Blah 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 blah. But I found myself with, you know, feast and famine in the music industry, and so as a sideman and as a recording artist in my own right, so to speak, during a slow period, I met Ron McNeil.
Sure.
Ron Mendonca, whatever he goes by, from the Fab Four, and I somehow I became a George Harrison, you know, as sort of a part-time musical job in between myself as a musician, and I started working. We didn't start the Fab Four yet. I met him before that, and I worked with Tony Kishman and David Leon, people that had been in Broadway's Beatlemania.
Yes.
Before that, and I toured the world for many years with a lot of incredible Beatles acts, you know, production acts, and then we put together the Fab Four. I was the original George in the Fab Four, and we caused a lot of trouble. It was fun.
So
lost you guys.
So why? No, we were spotlighting you. So
thank you.
So why guitar? Why guitar versus keys versus?
Well, you do play some keys too, right?
Do you?
Yeah, my parents forced me to play piano when I was little. I took some piano lessons, and my instructor wisely said, "I think you're wasting your time on David forcing piano lessons. He doesn't seem interested." However, as I said, the Beatles, and then all these English rock groups with the guitar heroes. You know, I was going to be a guitar player after that. You know, yeah. Brian May, Eric Clapton, Peter Johnson, all, you know, you name any great English guitar player, that got my attention.
Right.
That was it.
We promised in our advertisement there's going to be something that people don't know about a group that you played in, and you actually replaced Randy Rhoads in Quiet Riot. Is that correct?
Wow.
That makes me way over 22, doesn't it? Well, what happened was, as you know, Randy went off to play with a group. Well, actually, a gentleman named Ozzy Osbourne. You may have heard of him. And Kevin was tapping on my shoulder, saying, "Hey, you want to play with us?" And Kevin and I had been friends, and I don't even know what to say. Like I said, it makes me feel like I'm over 20. But yeah, I did that for a little while. I played with Kevin and the guys, and it was so loud. You know, I've been playing rock band after rock band for all these years, but Quiet Riot, those guys, that was loud. That was like, and he was trying out different lineups before he hit on the lineup, and I was, to be honest, I was like really into Cheap Trick kind of stuff at the time, song oriented, and he was like he was going in the AC/DC direction and was quite successful with it, But yeah.
Did you play with Frankie Banali, or was he in the group at the time?
That was in between Frankie, because Frankie, what he would do is he would play with Kevin sometimes, and then he'd go off on the road with a band that was making money, I guess. So no, I did not play with Frankie or Chuck Wright. Chuck is a good guy. I played with Drew Forsythe, which was Quiet Riot's original drummer.
Okay.
And I played with a gentleman named Gary Valentine, I believe is the last name he was using at the time.
Wow.
And then a guitar player that was in Chuck Wright's band, Satyr, Bobby Stefan. I pronounced that right? We'll ask Chuck. So anyway, so that was the lineup I played with, and it was fun.
About what year was that? Do you recall?
That was in 1919.
I was just a toddler.
That was right after the pandemic back.
Right after the pandemic.
This is why I hate talking about this. But some people think I'm a vampire human. That joke is very obscure. It was about 1980-ish. About 80.
Okay. Yeah, right around there. So
80-ish.
So that was something that people probably didn't know about you. But what is something else that is interesting about you that most people wouldn't know?
Well, like Larry, who the other day, and like you, and like a bunch of other people, I was also a worship leader at Vineyard Church for many years. And other people in Space Oddity, like Brooke, who's in our band for many years, she's a worship leader as well. It's sort of, yeah, there's a bunch of us. It's interesting.
Wow.
So 22 years on the worship team, and I actually was on the worship team too. I did not lead, but I sang on the worship team for almost 20 years.
She left to do a tribute to Helen Reddy.
I did,
and
it didn't work out. Didn't work out. So I have a question for you. So at what point? I know you did Beatlemania, you did Beatles. At what point did you realize that you had a strong resemblance to Bowie? At what point did you realize I can sing like him, I can look like him, I'm going to be the best?
Wow, thank you. A big problem I had when I was writing and recording my own original material with the group I was in, and we had a record deal, and when we were shopping for record deals before that, and is record people would complain, this guy sounds too much like David Bowie. And so I try not to sound like David Bowie. And now it sounds like a guy trying not to sound like David Bowie. In other words, it just came out, that voice, that timbre, that was just sort of built in. And I, of course, listened to Bowie my whole life and sung along with his records. But even when I wasn't trying to sound like him, I just sort of did. So after I'd been doing the Beatles world for a number of years, I saw the show Legends in Concert in Las Vegas. They had an impersonator for Madonna, everybody, Elvis. And I was in between Beatles tours, and I thought, they don't have a David Bowie in this, and something I always seemed like maybe I could do. And so I started putting together the costumes and working on the material and putting the band together slowly over a number of years in Beatles, because I was touring with the Fab Four and a group called the Stars of Beatlemania and Rain and Twist and Shout, all these different groups, And as I said, in between, I started putting this act together with the finest LA musicians, including Jim. Jim played with us, as you know, on occasions. And so it was a long process developing the act.
Yeah. In fact, what year did Space Oddity start?
We officially started around 2001.
Okay. because I thought so. Because I remember I joined Zepp again in 2001, and I remember seeing advertisements for Space Oddity at Paladino's, which we used to play all the time.
All the time.
Yeah,
So
we played there. Yeah, we played a couple times as well. We started out at Scruffy O'Shea's. You know, if you know
Oh
Scruffy.
yeah.
Scruffy O'Shea's. I remember Scruffy O'Shea's.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. So,
Go ahead.
yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. What was the first band that you were ever in?
Oh my God.
Dig deep. Dig deep.
Well, like I said, in the 800 plus years I've been alive, there have been a lot of bands. I started out probably in garage band after garage band, and believe it or not, the first one I can really remember was called Bitter Creek, and it was named after an Eagles song. And we would do songs like Outlaw Man and the obscure Eagles tunes, and then we would do Ballroom Blitz, and then something by Bachman Turner Overdrive, and then Bad Company. And so, you know, I played in garage bands, you know, as a teen.
Wow.
You know a band that you've heard of? So,
yeah.
Well, I just later on, as you know, not much later, I guess, now that I think about it, but later on, I played with Kevin and the guys from Quiet Riot, and I was also a sideman for some incredible Christian artists too. Brian Duncan, I don't know.
I love Brenda. Yes, amazing.
Brian Duncan, yeah, and I kind of played every kind of music you can think of except for jazz.
Yeah.
But I also played with the Altar Boys, which were incredible.
Absolutely. Yes.
Just and many others, but those are some of the earliest. Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
So prior to entering the tribute world, which is a whole other world in its own,
It's a different planet.
it's like a planet. It's like a planet.
Yeah.
Yes. What other projects were you involved in?
Well, you just talked about a few of them.
Yeah.
Oh, those were some. I mean, but like I said, I was focusing on one group I was in had a publishing deal with a major publisher, and we worked with. Do you remember the song "Drift Away"? Give me the beat, boys, thrill my soul.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The gentleman that wrote that was Minter Williams, the brother of Paul Williams. You know Paul Williams?
Oh yes.
Wrote, you know, the Phantom of Paradise, scattered some songs and all that. Anyway, we were working with people like, you know, different producers and stuff with production deals, and it's like I was working with other groups that had beef. When I wasn't doing sideman, I was trying to be in a band that made it. You know, there were various records that came out that didn't go anywhere. Those groups was called The Bottles, had a record deal on MCA. My own band was called Brighton. We had a record out. Went over and toured in Europe a little bit. Played some huge festivals. One with Striper. Another.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played on a huge festival in Holland with Striper. They were very nice guys, and with a million other incredible acts. So,
wow.
as I said, we were trying to make it as ourselves, and then we kind of got sidetracked. Some of us into a lot of my friends moved to Nashville and became songwriters there and/or artists there. One of my friends, Rick Elias, went on to write half the songs in the movie That Thing You Do. Remember the movie?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so a lot of our friends moved there. A lot of my ex-band members. And I stayed in LA, and as I said, in between gigs as a sideman and or working on my original band, I got sidetracked into working with these people that had been either in the original Beatlemania show or that had been inspired by it, like the Fab Four. And there was as much work there there was more work than really you ever could want. In other words, I was just, once I started that, it was hard to find time for anything else, you know? So I kind of put the original music on the back burner for a number of centuries.
Wow. Well, how many tribute projects are you currently in? I mean, I know there's probably several Beatle groups.
Well, I haven't done Beatles in a few years because once before Bowie, David passed, it just got too busy. To do any Beatles. So I'm just doing Bowie, and in fact, as you know, because of COVID, of course, we haven't done anything in a number of months, but we're starting back up next month.
Okay.
I'll stop there.
You are fantastic at it. I have to say, you are the best of the best.
So,
You're the
Yeah.
Thank you.
so we already found out what year that Space Oddity started. Are there any original members still left from when you put the group together?
At the moment, we've changed members. We started out with Zach Throne, who you probably know, insanely talented guy, and we had Shane Solosky, who's now a record producer, incredible, and Jason Harrison Smith was one of our early drummers. He played with Five for Fighting, if you remember them. They had that hit called Superman, and another one. And then now we had Ryan Brown, who's playing with Dweezil Zappa now.
Yeah.
He was with us for many years, but our drummer now is Kevin. I'm sorry. I'm having a moment. And then Trent Stroh on bass, Paul Nelson, we call him the Amazing Randy. I don't know why. And we've Switch. You know Switch very well. We've got Monica Schneider, the Incredible, on vocals and keys. And that's the current lineup of the sweetest, greatest musicians ever. And Bowie is such an eclectic artist that we've never had trouble getting incredible musicians, such as Jim Wooten.
So
because there's so many Bowie fans who were professional musicians.
Yes, absolutely.
David, are you able to see the comments?
We've got one.
We got a paragraph from.
Oh wait, here's one. Gary. Let's see. Yeah, Gary did. He was producing a show with Dave Lee and I did. Yeah, I got to read this. Sorry, this is going to bore everyone.
What?
It was an extended run in a small venue, and Gig felt so bad that he had to ask David to turn his vintage Vox down to about -3.
It's like so quiet that my amplifier, it was like right on the. It's like if I turned it like a micro part of an inch, it would be off. You would hear no sound, and then in a little bit, it's like it's on. And I couldn't get any quieter, and that's yeah. I remember that was a lot of fun. I remember that.
See you in that. I actually came to see
Which
you in
one?
that show at the El Portal.
Ah,
That was very nice of you to do that, and I'm sorry I would have.
love you.
You know how you're dependent on your sound as a musician. When your guitar is turned that low, and it's like you can almost hear it. It's not the most inspiring way to play, but that show, we did 2 different lengthy shows there. One where it was like sort of stand-up comedy,
Yes.
where it was like as if the Beatles were still together, and that was so funny. David Leon is like this comedic genius.
Oh, he's hilarious.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
Who is your favorite artist of all time? Favorite. I mean, Bowie obviously is maybe not your favorite, but who is your favorite?
Well, I have several favorites: Bowie, Queen, Beatles, The Who. I love The Doors. I mean, I love a million bands, but I'd say those are the top batch. U2, Tom Petty.
Here's a question for you. If you're in your car alone and you have the choice to put in any artist to drive the coast, who would you do? Who would you put in?
Jim Wooten. I always put on Jim Wooten.
Thank you, Dave.
He needs to take the trash out. You can't say that.
Let's see. If I'm driving up the coast, probably. God, Who's Next? Sorry, it's an old record, but you can't beat Who's Next. There's a group I'm listening to lately called the Struts. Have you heard of the Struts?
No, I haven't heard of them. They're a current group?
Their current group. Check them out.
Yeah.
They've got. You know how I heard about them is I was watching an Ian Hunter. Ian Hunter was a singer from Mott the Hoople who sang All the Young Dudes, had a hit with it, Bowie's song. And he was saying he liked this band called the Struts. And then Alice Cooper said in another interview that he liked this band called the Struts. And then I found out they opened for The Who and for the Foo Fighters. And so all these classic rockers were saying they liked this band. So I checked out, bought a couple of their CDs. And their singer is sort of like a young Mercury, it's Mick Jagger. I mean, he's got his own thing, but I'm saying if you're going to compare him to someone, that's the closest. And it's a really good rock band and with melody, So anyway, that's the current thing I'm listening to. U2.
Our friend Shannon Ray says the Struts rock. Do you know who the Struts are?
Apparently she does.
Yeah.
Oh,
Check it out.
Dave,
Yeah.
Julie wants you to tell everybody about your orchestra shows.
Yeah.
Well, the world famous Julie Dolan is a good friend of ours. Very good friend of ours.
The beautiful
And,
Julie.
I was going to get to you, Julie. So Julie plays with us on occasion on some of our like our orchestra shows she plays on, and I'll go over to her during the show, in between vocal takes, and say jokes to her that she doesn't understand because they don't make any sense, and I'm the only one who would get them. So she puts up with that. So she was well worth her weight in gold.
Dave, when you started Space Oddity, did you handpick all the members, and what were you looking for in each player when you started the group?
That's a great question. The tough thing is you have to be able to play any kind of music to be Bowie, any
Absolutely.
kind.
Yeah.
You have to play funk, rock, soul, what else? Electronica, experimentally folk music. You've got to, and
Yeah.
to play well. He's had so many phases and so many incarnations.
Yes.
So you had to have a drummer that could do anything. And a bass player could do anything. Just everyone. But the drummer, to play those funk grooves, you've got to have a serious drummer. So one of the first guys we got was Larry Treadwell, who'd played with people like She Blinded Me with Science. What's his name? Do you guys remember that song?
Oh yes, that's Thomas Dolby.
Tom Dolby, yeah, and he was like, Larry was this total pro, and he suggested somebody, and they know somebody, and so somebody suggested Trent Stroh eventually, and Trent suggested Paul, and someone else suggested Switch. We got to call him Switch. Sorry, we said
Larry says Thomas Dolby.
Yes.
Thank you, Larry. So, so in other words, I handpicked the first batch, and then, as I said, it's been an evolution of players, and this lineup's been together though probably 10 years. So, and this is the lineup that's toured Europe and gone to China and done all these crazy escapades. So yeah, I'm very fortunate to play with these people. They're when you're on the road, you want to have people that not only can do their jobs musically on stage, but you want to have people that are a joy to be around rather than a pain to be around.
Yeah.
So so they put up with me, and they're awesome. So I'm very, very fortunate and very thankful.
Well, I had the opportunity to do several shows with the group, and I got to tell you, it was such a blast playing learning that music. I mean, normally for most bass lines that I'm learning, it would take maybe half hour to an hour. But when I heard Space Oddity, I got to tell you, I was completely blown away. And for any of you watching this show, go and listen to that song and listen to the bass, because it is absolute genius. It took me 3 hours sitting there intently listening to every note, and it was probably one of my favorite songs to learn because it was just so interesting. He didn't play on the Oh, there we go. Yeah, he didn't play on the root of the chord a lot of the time. Anyway, it was just the funnest songs to play. Now, if I had to play it tomorrow, I probably wouldn't be able to do it because I'd have to completely relearn it. But
yeah,
it was just such a masterpiece. And I think that was Herb Flowers on that. Is that correct?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And he was like, and Rick Wakeman played on that song as well.
Did he really?
As well as on Changes and the Hunky Dory album. And then later they got Mike Garson, who is he and Rick Wakeman are the greatest keyboardists who ever lived, as far as I'm concerned. But also a quick story about Mike. When I was first starting this show out, our keyboard said, you know, some of these songs, the keyboard parts are so complex that it would take me in a million years to learn these off the record. And he says, I know a guy who knows Mike Garson. Why don't you see if he has music or anything? And so Mike Garson graciously lent me a music book that had just transcribed.
Wow.
Played on. He linked it to me. I went and Xeroxed it and gave him and returned it in the book. But that's just an example. Like Mike Garson, and I should say also this, Bowie's camp, you know, from day one jumped on and supported us. Like they started like Bowie's official website started posting about our act like almost right away. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. They say, check this out, this band Space Oddity. These guys are really making the effort. And some Bowie fans would get on and says, hey, he doesn't have a dilated pupil or something, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, there was like someone who criticized whatever, you know, but I'm not going to poke my eye out to.
Well, that
but,
leads us.
But I'm just trying to say that Bowie and his people were really supportive, you know. And
yeah, I remember that. I remember that right out of the gate. But
right, they were great.
That leads us to the question of how did the commercial with David Bowie happen?
That was so
how did
awesome.
That come about?
And that was at the end of the video we showed.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
Yeah. Well, that was again, they were aware of me. So when Bowie had signed up to make this commercial, he didn't want to play Ziggy Stardust or Aladdin Sane or the Thin White Duke or the clown, you know, from Ashes. He didn't do any of those previous incarnations. He just wanted to appear as he was in 2000, whatever it was. And so they said, let's hire a lookalike. And so I got the call. I was on tour in Canada with one of the Beatle groups I was with. I don't remember which one. And I got the call, hey, can you do a screen test for this? And so I got all terrified. Anyway, long story short, I did the screen test. They flew me out to New York and made costumes and wigs for me. Do you know what I'm saying? Specifically for me, and I got to see in like it was, you know, it was made by the people that make movies and commercials, so they were incredible, you know. And so I just got to see up close what went into doing it, you know, on that level, and doing more of this boring stuff. And so meeting Bowie was like, I'm just going, when am I going to meet Bowie? It's like I was like, nervous. I was nervous, you know, impersonating somebody you know, venue of the fans. That's scary, but doing it in front of the person themselves, that's terrifying. So anyway, finally, on about the third or fourth day that I was there, he walks in. Hi, I'm David. I'm just like,
wow.
And I think I said, hi, I'm David. You know? That's the end of our intellectual conversation that day. So anyway, no, he was very gracious, perfect English gentleman, and it was just so surreal and bizarre. But it's amazing.
Well, what year did that occur?
That was in the first half of the 2000s. I'm going to say 2003 or 4 or something.
Wow.
And,
okay.
Were you able?
They also had a cut of the commercial to advertise his album called Reality. So whatever year that came out.
Oh, okay. And were you able to keep those costumes that they made for you?
They let me keep a couple of them. A couple, yeah. And I still use one of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they didn't let me keep all of them. I had to get, you know, I had my own replicas of some of them, and then I got new ones made of others, because the ones, gosh, they were great. They were great costumes.
Yeah. Now, for those of you out there who haven't seen the show, it's absolutely amazing.
So good.
Dave goes from one costume to the other. It's amazing. I mean, have you ever? I mean, that has to work like clockwork. I mean, It's got to be so you know, have you ever had anything happen where it's like,
Any snafus?
yeah,
Do you have any snafus going? Let us know about your snafus.
More than I can even tell you.
really?
Yeah, we were, and you played at this venue also. We played it at one of the premier venues in Las Vegas, the Hilton.
Yeah.
That Elvis performed on.
Yeah.
And I'm changing costumes, and the band is ready for me to come back out, and I wasn't ready. And my wig is like on all cockeyed. I run out on stage, and I'm trying to get a shot. There's so many shows that have been like that. They're so embarrassing.
Oh, that's funny.
You go out with a crooked wig.
Yeah.
The show must go on.
Man. Okay, so
And there was another time where I'm pulling up, God, you have to wear spandex in this show. So, can't eat too many burritos, So anyway, I ran out and I did something wrong with the spandex pants. And they were like, they had some belt or something. I didn't get, I don't know what. But anyway, they were kind of slipping down during the show, and I was like trying to pull them back up, the whole thing. If I didn't get them up all the way, something was going wrong. Well,
now, I know what my experience has been, but how do you like playing with Switch? Chris Sabkovich.
He's a party in itself, right? A whole party. Like a whole party.
He's just got such a negative outlook on life. He's just such a downer. He's always complaining, Yeah. No, seriously. You get to the airport, it's 3:30 in the morning, we all walk into the airport like this, and he's all, isn't this fun? And he's so excited about the gigs. Sometimes he'll show up at your house 24 hours early and say, where is everybody? You didn't go to LAX. Where is everybody? Oh, wait, I'm a day earlier. I was so excited.
Yeah.
You are living our life, David. You are living our life.
He is so
I feel
funny.
like we're all living the same life.
Yeah. He's a great human being.
He's amazing.
And you know what? His positivity, it comes back to him. It's like when we're on the road, it's like when we go through it, we have a hard time going through TSA or something, and everybody says, God, could you believe those TSA people? And Chris is like, what? I go, oh, Chris, he probably carried you through, it's a community.
You are always guaranteed a belly laugh.
Yeah. So in other words, his name is Chris, too. People who don't know, Chris Switch.
Yes. Sabkovich, right?
Yeah,
he's great, and so are the other guys. They're all and girl, they're all great. It's like being on the road with a bunch of comedians.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, now that things are starting to open back up, how is your schedule shaping up? There you go.
Oh, we're going to do that again, by the way.
We're doing the reunion
I
again.
am going to get together with my good friend Katie Darrell, and we are going to do another World's Greatest Reunion.
And you have to be involved.
I can't wait. I wanted to say, I wanted to make sure we gave Katie her hello.
That's amazing.
And, Katie is awesome, and everybody on the show was awesome. What was the question? Sorry.
We're so excited. We're doing a World's Greatest Reunion.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
We don't know when yet.
No,
but,
it'll be early 2022.
I'm trying to get it late 2021, but they're pushing back on me on that.
2022.
But wait, our good friend Artie.
Artavan
says great interview with that odd guy. He's a bit spacey.
With that odd guy, he's a bit spacey. He said he called you spacey. Would you like to reply?
Yeah. I'm going to tell people who know the Fab Four something that they might not know. We that have worked with Artie, we call him Andy Sanaf. Andy Sanaf. It's his true name.
Andy?
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh, wait. I have a question for you.
Yes.
So on one of our posts, someone said, do you like cheese?
That was my next joke, is that when we were on the road with Fab Four,
I love cheese.
There were a lot of cheese jokes being made. I had a T-shirt that said something like, the power of cheese. And for some reason, like, hey, Brighton, do you like cheese? It was cheese jokes every day. Anything that had to do with cheese was very funny to us.
Yes. Well,
You got to stay on the road acting nuts. Go ahead.
How many years were you with the Fab Four, Dave?
Well, probably 2.5 only, officially. I still film with them now and then, but I mean, we started the group, and then I had been doing Beatles though for longer than that. And Ron and I had done Beatles before in another group prior to that, touring everywhere, And he can tell you some funny stories about Hong Kong. But so 2.5 years, I'd say, and then I decided I was going to do other things, including the Bowie show, and they were very supportive.
Well, let's see. So that would have been. So you would have started with them probably about 1999. Is that correct? 98.
I guess so.
About my birth year.
Have you filled in for them since you started the Bowie project? I mean, have you ever like gone in and done some shows with them? Okay, so
on numerous occasions, in Vegas. Like when they were in Vegas, they had a residency in Vegas for a long time.
Yes,
I a few weeks here and there with them, and added out of one-nighters and a few things here and there with them, just scattered through the years. With Ron,
Ron.
Also, when I first got into this crazy Beatle world, which you think the tribute world is, Beatle world is the weirdest of all, because there's so many Beatle bands. There's like literally one on every corner, in every corner on the planet.
You're right.
And so I was working with some of the original Beatlemania guys touring Canada, and Mitch, from Beatlemania was one of the guys in that show. And they give everyone a nickname. So I was in my hotel room and I was about to come out of it, and I heard two of the guys in the corridor talking about me. And they say, have you seen David Brighton the show? The other guy says, no, I haven't seen David Brighton the show. Where is David Brighton the show? And that was their nickname for me. And I just thought it was the funniest thing hearing them use this nickname when I wasn't even, they didn't even know I could hear them. And so Ron still calls me David Brighton in the show.
Oh man! Well, I just happened to think of something that funny that happened when we were in the Superstars of Rock together.
Superstars of Rock.
So, of course, we said it was Swan doing Led Zeppelin, Tony doing The Doors, Jay doing Aerosmith, and then we had Dick Swagger doing Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
So everybody knows that Mick Jagger and David Bowie did the video together and the song "Dancing in the Streets." And now I don't know if it's true or not, but apparently there was talk about them having some sort of relationship. Do you know about that?
Angela Bowie talked about it in her book. They were like best friends, and I don't know, beyond that, I have no idea,
Okay, yeah.
I
there
lost
was
your
rumors that it was something more than that. So you remember the one night we were up there in Northern California, and they were divvying up the rooms, and they said, okay, so Jim, you and David will room together, and then I stopped him. And I said, wait a minute, wouldn't it be more appropriate to have Dick Swagger and David share their room?
Oh my goodness. I think I pressed that joke.
Yeah.
I've forgotten. But boy, there were some funny stories from those days. I talked to Dick Swagger on the phone the other day. I hadn't talked to him in ages and just called him to catch up.
Yeah, how is he doing?
Is he playing? Is he playing?
He's playing. Done some shows.
I learned a lot from him because, if I may say this, before I had ever done a Bowie show, I'd been a guitar player who sang, but getting this flamboyant David Bowie character. You know, I had never done anything like that. So before our first gig, I was terrified. And but I remember with different Beatle groups I did, we had done some double bills with the Hollywood Stones, and I used to watch Dick Swagger, and I just go, this guy's not afraid to do anything. And I learned from that. You know, he was just a fearless frontman, and that inspired me to do the same when I was doing my very first shows.
Yeah, but no, we did Dancing in the Streets in that Superstars of Rock show, right? You guys used to do
I
that.
don't even remember, to tell you the truth. Since I've done it with Mick Adams a bunch of times, you know, Mick,
Yeah.
Sure.
wonderful guy, and his lovely wife, Karen. I don't remember if we did in Superstars of Rock. I honestly don't.
Yeah, it seems I seem to remember learning that one, but that was so much fun doing that stuff. I wish it had gone a lot longer than it did, but it never seemed to gain any traction for some reason.
Yeah.
It's an expensive. Let's see what they're saying here. First of all, Gil said something nice before that. Thank you, Ron. Yeah, I used to.
Wait a second.
I'm not even going to go there. Stuff that I used to sing on the road to keep myself amused and sane.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go there.
Oh, that's funny.
Sometimes at Fab Four gigs, they would sing. We'd be getting ready backstage, and they'd be singing different lyrics to the songs.
Yeah.
And some of them were a little bit colorful, if you know what I'm saying. And you know when you get on stage, you kind of get into autopilot.
Yeah.
One time I'm singing "Do You Want to Know a Secret?" and I'm in autopilot, and I'm singing the lyrics that Ron was singing backstage, and I didn't realize it. And there are children in the audience.
Yeah.
I got to really pay attention before I start singing next time. Your fault, Ron. Anyway.
Well, okay. So looking back over all the years that you've been involved in music, so do you have any regrets? Anything where you think, well, man, I wish I would have done this instead or made this decision instead?
There are probably a million of them, but you know what? You only know what you know at the time. I mean, we unfortunately can't see the future. You know, there are things I would do different, but I'm happy where I am now. If that made any sense. Make any sense? Anyway.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
for a second.
We got it.
We're
We got
back.
it. We're back.
Okay. I'm waiting for you guys. Are you there?
Okay, we're back. Yeah, no, I mean, you guys have had, worldwide success with Space Oddity. I mean, you guys
So
were
good.
especially after David Bowie had passed. Man, you guys were going all over the world.
Yeah, it's a shame. You know, it's sad that humanity sort of wants things after they're gone. You know what I mean? Like we started out a little slower than some than say Zepp again. You know, our trajectory. It took a while for the Bowie audience to get to the right age to play in the kind of venues that we were playing. In other words, when we started out, Bowie's demographic wasn't going to casinos. You know, the Beatles' demographic was going to casinos. And so, anyway, the demographic did catch up eventually, and then years later, the untimely passing of David himself, things just exploded, and we couldn't even keep up. In fact, there were more gigs than we could possibly take, and we had to do them in Glastonbury in England. Glastonbury is like the biggest outdoor festival in England.
Yeah,
we were already booked.
man.
And that was a rough decision to make, you know. But we decided we honored the contract we already had, you know, and so it was nuts. And
wow.
so now after
that's a regret right there, right?
well, I sincerely wish we could have done that, of course. But as I said, if you give your word to someone and sign a contract, you go, I don't go back and say, hey, sorry, the offer came. You know what I mean?
Sure. No, that's the way. I mean, that's really the way to do it. I've known people that have gone the other way, and it just doesn't bode well for you or the group going forward.
No, it really doesn't. It doesn't. So yeah. So and that's happened many times. But that was the biggest thing that we had to let go. But it's been an adventure, and we've got, I'm sure you guys have too, but it's strange in this little weird world we're in. Sometimes you get to meet your heroes, you get to play bills with your heroes. We've opened for a lot of incredible name acts. You were there, in fact. We all played on John at one gig. Remember that?
Yes. Oh, that was incredible. Yes, that was unbelievable.
And so it's none of us ever expected to be wearing wigs and impersonating Beatles or Bowie or whoever,
Sure.
But it has a lot of blessings connected to it. It's been really awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, man, Dave, it was so great to have you on. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yeah, so thrilled.
And we'll definitely do it again if you're up for it. And
we'll get Ron to phone in, and he'll sing that song that he wanted.
We're gonna have Ron on the show, so he's gonna be able to share all these stories with us.
I can't wait to give him a hard time when he's on.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, thank you once again. I mean, that was very interesting. And we'll definitely be contacting you when we're doing the world's greatest tribute reunion show.
We're going to do 2022.
No, 2021, like maybe November, December.
No, he's pushing for 2021. 2-2.
Make sure I'm in town.
Oh, you'll be in town. Yeah.
Or I'll be devastated.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're okay, Daryl. We'll do it. We'll do it.
Well, have a great night, Dave.
You too.
Oh, you have a show coming up.
Let's talk about. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we have a local show. We have a local show on July 24th at the world famous Santa Clarita Concerts in the Park. So drop everything. I don't care what you have going, drop it. And come hang out with us.
Yes, yeah, and you're probably going to be getting upwards of 10,000 people there because that park will hold.
Are we going to be there?
What's the date?
24th. I'm sure you're playing. July 24th.
I am playing July 24th.
Hate that.
Look, okay. I just put that whole thing about honoring your commitments. This is cancel that commitment.
Yeah.
There you go.
What I'm saying. I may be there, Dave.
Yes, we'll get.
Okay, well, thanks again, and we're going to have you back on in the future here, and maybe talk more about some stories out on the road during your trips to China. And where didn't you go to? Was it the Netherlands or around that area?
We did. Well, we went all over Europe 2.5 times.
Oh, man.
In other words, we've been to Europe 3 times with Space Oddity, and wow, I've got a lot of interesting stories if you're ever interested.
Absolutely. We definitely will have you back on, and we'll be talking about all of that. So thanks again.
Love you guys. Thank you.
And we'll see you soon.
We love you, Dave. We love you.
Take care.
Have a great night.
Thanks for watching, or thanks for listening, or thanks for whatever you call it.
WAW.
All right. Good night, Dave.
Take care.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining us for this, what is it, 18th episode?
18th, yeah. Well, official.
Yeah.
Official. So 18th official episode.
Right.
We've been doing it well beyond 18th, probably like 20 episode.
Yeah, but since we've started this new platform. But,
yeah.
So
Let us know if you like it. If you don't,
Yeah.
yeah.
Next week, we're very excited because we're going to have Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street. No, actually,
I would love Bert and Ernie. Are you kidding?
no, actually,
Are we having Bert?
actually,
Bert and Ernie? I would love that.
actually, we are having Derek and Ernie and
Ernie.
Baru. No,
Those
Derek
Derek
Fuller and Ernie Baru.
are Puerto Vallarta bandmates.
Yes, and
Friends.
they're from
Mayhem.
Fan Halen, and so they're going to be coming to join
Such
us.
good friends of ours. We love them. We love them.
Yes, we hope you can join us next Wednesday night. That will be the 30th at 7 p.m. And if we see you this weekend,
Friday.
we'll remind you about that.
Yeah.
Friday night at the Hilltop Tavern with Deja Vu, tribute to Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, followed by Robert Plant Nation, tribute to Robert Plant. And then the very next night at the Canyon in Montclair, Led Zeppelin. So we hope to see you guys there. It's going to be a great weekend. Bye, Patty. Thank you for joining us. Bob says, nice show. Thank you. Thank you, Bob. And I think that's it. Thanks once again for joining us.
Yeah.
God bless you all and keep on rocking in the free world. We'll see you Friday night at the Hilltop Tavern.
Bye, guys.